I'm Liz Castellucci.
And I'm Renz Conlon. And we're here today to show you evolution in the Long Island Sound.
The Long Island Sound reaches approximately 110 miles east to west and is approximately 21 miles wide from New York to Connecticut. Its depths reach around 320 feet. Many different species of fish can be found in these waters, including porgy, striped bass, bluefish, summer flounder, black sea bass, weakfish, false albacore, and more. Though in appearance, many of these fish look very different. They have a lot more in common than you think. First off, almost all fish share similar internal and external structure and function. These physical similarities can be attributed to homologous structures. Homologous structure or homology is an example of an organ or bone that appears in different animals, underlying anatomical similarities.
Basically, there's similar body parts that can be found in multiple different species.
And that's because all fish have descended from a common ancestor through evolution. Evolution is descent with modification. The idea that living species are descendants of ancestral species that are different from the present ones today.
They're like one big happy family.
Yeah, one big happy family with a lot of adaptations. Adaptation is the process of change, by which a species of organisms becomes better suited to its environment.
This happens over many, many years of natural selection. So that's enough talking. Let's head out on the Sound, get a couple fish, and do comparative anatomy to show you evolution.
Oh my god! Wait, Renz, hold it up for the camera, please.
Okay.
It's flopping.
Okay, this is a fluke. Now right off the bat,
Wait, hold
you
up.
can tell obviously it's a flat fish. And this is an example of adaptation. As the fish over time has adapted to become flat, this allows it to lay on the bottom, cover itself with sand, and as bait comes by, represented by my lure, as the bait comes by, it comes up and bites the bait.
Fishy.
This is an example of adaptation.
Oh, wait, hold up. I'm like,
See how big this puppy is?
he kissed the fish. Renz just kissed a fish.
Oh, this might be a really big one.
I'm going. I caught a fish, but I caught the fish. He didn't.
Yeah, she did caught the fish. Do that.
I caught a fish. I get to push Renz off the boat. Just wait for that. We're gonna put that in the video.
An adaptation that the porgy has that the fluke does not is these sharp, prickly spines, and they stand up off the back of the tail of the dorsal fin. What this allows is predators, when they go to bite them, they bite down on the spikes and they can't inhale it. A lot of times you'll find striped bass floating with porgies about this size in their mouth, and the problem is they're choking, and once the fish dies from the spikes in the striped bass's mouth, the fish will swim off. This is a natural defense mechanism. Is fish back?
No!
Liz,
I caught it! Renz, it's the first fish and I caught it. I want to keep it.
You want to kill this little thing? You want to kill it?
Fine, set it free. Wait. Bye, little fishy. It's dead.
No, he'll get down.
Oh, the fish, friends.
Hold on. Where's the other rod? Where's the other rod?
I caught my first fish ever and he killed it. And now it's just floating away in the Sound. Fisherman, Renz, fishy, fishy, fishy.
Okay.
Fishy, fishy, fishy.
Right,
Rescue me.
Okay.
Fishy, fishy.
Shut up! I got one. Hold on. Hang on. Hold on. Okay, this is the struggle of fishing. Yeah, this is a little one. This is a porgy.
I just don't want to touch them.
So bad about touching them. There's a nice porgy right there. He's gonna go back. There you go. This is on. This is on.
It's hard. Oh, it's heavy.
Yeah, it's probably another jumbo. Yeah.
It is. Wait. Hold up.
Get the net.
Get a camera so I can show people my fish.
Don't let it eat me. I'm gonna use this one. Oh yes, real.
I'm reeling. I can't reel this.
Real. Okay.
Friends, I can't reel that.
Okay, hang on.
That's too heavy for me to reel.
Oh, okay. Get the net, please. Okay, this is a very big fish. Okay, hang on, give me the net, Okay. Hang on. Okay, hang on.
Look, I caught another big one. This one is peanuts. Is that big enough?
Yeah, it is!
Woo! We did it! I can pee!
And that was on camera. Oh my God.
Friends,
That is a monster flatty. That is a monster. You hooked it. I reeled it in. Okay, we're good to go home now.
yeah, I can pee!
Okay,
It's so heavy. It's so big.
That is monster. That is the biggest fluke I've ever had on this boat. That is very big fluke.
Friends, I got two.
Do you understand how big of a fluke that is, though? Why are you catching such gigantic fish?
Because I'm the hook. It bit me. Yo, dude, I'm bleeding.
Are you? Oh, that's alright. What the flying phalange? Ah!
Friends, wait, friends, we caught it.
That was good. Yeah. So as you can see here, these fish, although they look very different initially, they actually share some very similar homologous structures. As you can see here, they both have eyes, they both have mouths, but if you dig a little deeper, you can see that both of them, and all fish, have gills. And this red part right here is called the gill filament. Get in there with the light. Is the gill filament. In here, this white line right here is the gill arc, and on the inside, this is the gill rakers. As you can come see over here, in the porgy, compared to the fluke, we have gill filament, gill arc, and gill rakers. The gills are how the fish breathes. Since there's limited oxygen in the water, the fish need special organs designed to filter out the oxygen from the water. If you come look here again, we can see in bone structure, they both have a center spine running down the middle of the fish with rib bones flaring out across the back of the fish. And as you can see on the fluke is adapted to become flat. So what this allows the fluke to do is lay flat on the bottom of the ocean or the sound or wherever it is, and it allows it to camouflage itself not only from predators but from prey. And this allows it to lay flat, and when a fish comes by, it jumps up out of the sand and snatches it with its teeth. And as you can see, both fish have teeth. Although very similar, both fish have teeth, but they serve different functions. Okay, as you can see there, porgies have teeth, but they are not at all similar to the fluke. That is because they eat two different forage species. They prey on different organisms. The fluke goes after bait fish and squid, spearing, peanut bunker, in that family, that size range of fish.
Right.
Porgies, on the other hand, they do not eat fish. They eat crustaceans. They eat snails, small crabs, and their teeth are flat and blunted to allow to crunch down on hard shells. Fluke are very sharp, which allows them to bite and hold on to prey. Now, if you look at the muscle structure between the two fish, they're very similar. They are both layered tissue with the grain going from head to tail. In both species, you can see that, with the bloodline running along the middle. As you can see, the fluke fillet we split in half, but the bloodline runs along the center, and we have capillaries running throughout the fish, as you can see in both species. If I press down here, we get blood coming out along the rib bones to the muscle tissue. And if you look over here, if I apply pressure, we get blood coming out here. Other than that, we have very similar fin structures. Here we have we have the pectoral fin on both fish. They're very different from each other because they serve different purpose. Porgies live in very strong currents, so they need very large pectoral fins to stop them in strong current and hold them steady while they feed off of rocks. Fluke, they don't really need that big because they lay flat on the ground, so they just have very small. But the difference is when you get to the pelvic fin, you can see that porgies have very large pelvic fins for the same reason their pectoral fins are large. But if you come here, the pelvic fin on the fluke is actually integrated into its anal fin. It runs along the whole line of the fluke, and it also is symmetrical to the dorsal fin on the fluke. Now, and obviously they have tail fins, but very different. The flounder is
like a mermaid.
Yeah, very broom-like, which allows it to quickly get off the bottom and have quick reaction strikes on its prey. Here, the porgy is fork-tail. The fork-tail allows it to hold in strong current. Internal structures are very similar, and actually a homologous structure that is shared between fish and humans is that if you look here, this is the fish's colon, just like we have a colon as well. Although this runs to its vent, we have an anus. The fluke has a stomach, just like we have a stomach, and the porgy does too, but they have a lot of big bones protecting them. They have lungs. Even though they don't breathe the same way, they do have lungs, and they do have intestines.
We hope our video helps you better understand evolution.
Hope to catch you on the sound.